Blog Talk Radio.
Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot, oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only, Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls Radio. I am your host, Patricia Baker. Unfortunately, PK and Michelle are unable to join us tonight, but they'll be back next week, and we will have next week someone who you're all very familiar with. Ed Edwards is coming back with his partner, Leahy. As you know, both have been tested by the Rhine Lab and by UVA, by another university, Monroe Institute, and they are able to produce millions of photons through the power of their mind. Now, not only can they do this production of millions of photons, but they can repeatedly do this production of millions of photons. And as you all know, in the field of the paranormal, a lot of these things, you just can't repeat them. It's maybe a one-off thing, or maybe you can see it 2 times. But with Ed and Leahy, you get to see it every time. So I want to make sure you know to tune in, because you're going to get a personal experience over the radio waves here of what it's like to feel all of these photons. You know, we've had Ed and Leahy on the show several times before, and they can make you feel it right in your own bodies. It's amazing. So we want to catch up with these two. We want to find out what they've been up to, and I hear it's quite a bit. So be sure to tune in next week for Ed Edwards and Leahy, and we will be talking about their latest and greatest experiences with light. Really, it's truly light. And I'll tell you one quick story that Ed was on Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie last year. And there was a hurricane at the time. I believe it was in Florida. And George asked Ed if he could reduce the wind velocity, knowing that Ed is capable of things like that. And Ed said, sure, let me work on it during the commercial. So he did work on it during the commercial, and he lowered the wind velocity. It was an amazing, amazing thing to listen to on the air with George. So anyways, we'll see what happens next week. You don't want to miss this one. Be sure to like us and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And we're also on Truth Social. You can find us there. So be sure to join us on all these social media thingies. We do have a TikTok channel, but we haven't been doing any posting yet. We're just collecting friendships right now. But we will be posting. And tonight we have a great show and a terrific guest. Aage Nost is here with us, and we're going to be talking about the latest in ghost hunting technologies. But also, we're going to be talking about the mysteries of time, time travel, and how to rejuvenate yourself. You actually can do that once you understand how time works. And Aage's going to explain all of this to us. So let me tell you a little bit more about Aage. He's amazing. He was born on a farm in Norway, and he came to the U.S. at the age of 25 to become a professional pilot. Now, he did become a pilot and also went into a partnership and owned a flight school, air taxi, and air carrier. Now, after retiring from flying, he started studying the mind. Now, Aage is a hypnotist, author of several books, was a TV talk show host for 6 years, and is a radio talk show co-host on Broadcast Team Alpha. He has been teaching classes on self-hypnosis, meditation, psychic abilities, astral travel, and universal success principles. So tonight we're delving into a lot of mysterious things. And here we go. Aage, welcome to the show.
Well, hello, Patricia. I have coffee in hand and I'm ready to go.
Okay. I'm thrilled to have you join us. I know I've been wanting to have you on the show for a long time. You were gracious enough to invite me on your wonderful show some time ago, and it was terrific being able to talk with you on air. So let's get right into this. My goodness, ghost hunting. Now we're familiar with the old time stuff like Ouija boards, but it's gone way beyond that. So tell us what you know. What are the latest and greatest ghost hunting technologies?
Well, yeah, there are methods out there that make things so much simpler. In fact, ghost hunting, I don't know, I'm not so sure ghosts like to be hunted. Maybe we should do it in a different way, but let them come to us.
Right.
There is ways we can do that. And I think I'm going to mention about 5 different ways that you can do that, and it works about 100% of the time. One of them
terrific.
is...
What? Okay, we're going to start with number 1. What is it?
Well, one of them is plain and simple, an invention that was done with Nikola Tesla back in 1901. And he created what is today called the Tesla Spirit Radio. And he did this in his, actually, he invented it before, but he got the patent in 1901. And I want to quote something that he said about this little radio that he created. And that is, and here is quoting Nikola Tesla, "My first observations positively terrified me, as there was present in them something mysterious, not to say supernatural, and I was alone in my laboratory at night. The sounds I was listening to at first sounds like human voices conversing back and forth in a language I did not understand." Now, that was in 1901. At that time, we got to also remember, Nikola Tesla was a well-educated man. He was fluent in 7 languages.
Yes,
and
that's
the thing
true.
about it is, in 1901, there were only about 20 radio transmitters in the country.
That's
because
all? My goodness.
Yeah, the first radio station that was even registered, that was set up in 1920. That was KEKA. I think out of Pittsburgh or somewhere right about there. So in 1901, with 20 different stations, and none of them were close to where he was, somebody was talking back and forth, and he was listening in on the conversation. If you just really have some fun, go to YouTube, and you will find, if you put in the term Tesla Spirit Radio, you are going to find all kinds of people that have built this little unit, and they are testing it. And you can hear the voices of the spirits on there, because we're finding out that we're hardly ever alone. So
yeah, we hear that a lot. Yeah, we hear that a lot from mediums. They come in groups. Yeah.
there are always spirits around us, or other dimensional entities. I'm not so sure spirits would actually fit all the categories, because there may be other things out there. There may be...
I agree with you, yes.
Yeah, there might be disembodied entities and spirits, that's fine. But there are also entities out there that have never had a physical body. Thought forms are out there. They have no intelligence of their own, but they operate from memory. And there are other things that could possibly speak through the Tesla Spirit Radio so you can hear it, because you can hook that up to a speaker, and you can also put a microphone into the circuit and you can talk to them.
So you can actually have a conversation back and forth with this Tesla Spirit Radio.
Yes, they do. And YouTube is full of those videos, and you can really have some fun with that. I even have one on there where I was on the Leak project and talked about it. And this is something that everybody can do. In fact, to build one...
where can you buy one? I mean, for those of us that are just mechanically challenged, let me put it that way. Can you buy one? Or do you have to just build it yourself?
You can probably find one that'll make it for you. It's above my pay grade, so I'm not so sure I could do that, but you can find the parts. They'll set you back about, I ran the numbers one time, and I found that I could probably put one together for about $20.
Oh, well, that's doable.
Yeah. So if you're interested in doing anything like this, you can buy the kits at several places. It's right on YouTube also, and if you Google it, you'll find probably about 5 or 6 different websites that'll sell you the kits. And buy 2 kits. If you can't put it together, buy 2 kits and find a friend that knows electronics. Give him both kits and tell him, you make 2 radios out of this, you keep one, and I'll get one, and we'll have some fun with it.
That's a great idea. And it's certainly affordable, if we can find anybody who has the ability to put those things together. From the photographs that you sent me, which I will put on our Facebook page tomorrow, it doesn't look all that complicated, but you have to know what you're doing, I would think. So have you used one of these, Aage? Have you had the chance to use one?
I have never used this particular way of doing it. No, I have not. But I see the results from other people everywhere out there. And the thing about it is that anybody that says today that there is no life after death, I'm sorry, probably not speak to the atheists this way, but they are pretty ignorant. We have the pictures. We have the voice recordings. We have the videos. We have the personal contact from people. All the evidence is there. I've been saying for a while that if all the evidence of life after death was taken into a court of law and adjudicated before a jury and a judge, there would have been a hanging a long time ago.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, it is all there. But it's just
and I'm glad you brought that up, because it's very much the same as with UFOs. It's for so many years, not everybody, but the government was very discouraging and saying that these people were crazy and there's no such thing. Yet now they're being forced, for some reason, to say, yes, they are real, they are not on the earth, and we don't know what they are, even though we know they know what they are. But still, it's the same kind of thing. It's like for years and years, people have dismissed the idea of life after death and ghosts and things like that. But you're right. There's so much evidence on this that there is a reality, that whether it's we drop the body and we're just still hanging around or whatever, there's a place or a dimension that exists. And can't be denied.
Yeah, and, religions are very strong. And they've been brainwashing people into this total belief that if there's anything that is not written about in the Bible or other books of spirituality, so to speak, then it's a demon or something that you shouldn't mess with, because the Christian church, they don't want you to know anything about this, because then you wouldn't need the church anymore. Then you lose both power and the purse. So we got to be a little careful with institutions like that. They may not have our best interest at heart.
So true. Now, you grew up in Sweden. What was it like for you there when it came to religion?
Oh, there were, when I grew up, everybody, well, not everybody, a lot of people went to church, but it's starting to get to the point where they really didn't believe a lot in it, but they went to church for companionship and meet people, because that was the place to meet people, and they hung around for a while and talked afterwards and went home. So
that's right.
I think today there's a lot of that also.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you were raised with a Catholic background? Is that what you were raised in?
No. I am a recovering Lutheran Protestant.
Oh. Okay. All right.
I'm glad you got that one.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, that's great. I'm glad you're recovering.
Yeah. So, and even
so you
back
found mysticism and metaphysical and all of these exciting things. So, but back then, I don't know if that was offered in Sweden. Was there any of this in Sweden back then? Metaphysics?
But, yeah, it started to. Of course, it was in Norway, but I started very young to start looking at UFOs and things that was outside of the box, and that in my neighborhood, that put me outside of the box. So they were all in the box, and then I became the outcast, more or less. But I had a couple of friends in the neighborhood, and we talked about UFOs and all kinds of neat stuff. So it was, kind of a little clique of us that we had fun.
And in Norway, did you have a number of sightings? Because it sounds like you had something to talk about when you were living there with other people.
I did. I think I was probably about 12 years old or something like that when I built the first UFO detector, and it worked. The bell went off, and I went outside, and I remember one time I didn't see a thing. But it may have been, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was probably cloudy. And 2 other times the bell went off, and I went outside with the binoculars, and I saw something. So I know it worked. Yeah.
That's great.
And I have a drawing. If anybody is interested in building a UFO detector for less than $20, then they can go to broadcastteamalpha.com. and go into the picture gallery, and you will find it in there somewhere.
Oh, that's great.
The drawing of it.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing that you invented that way back. So good for you. So this Tesla Spirit Radio, people can build it if they want, or it is possible, I guess, although more expensive, to purchase it somewhere online. So what are some of the other technologies that people are using today?
Oh, yeah. There is one that has an enormous amount of credibility, and that is being built at the University of Arizona by Dr. Gary Schwartz, and he even got a patent on it. Now, I'm a patent holder, and I know in order to get a patent, you have to have sound technology behind it. Right. So this one is absolutely real, and he called it the soul phone, because they are able to communicate interdimensionally. Now, for those of you that want to have a closer look at and read about this, go to thesoulphonefoundation.org. thesoulphonefoundation.org. And what you will read about there is that they have put together electronics circuits, and they hook that up to a computer.
Mm-hmm.
And you can actually type questions in on the computer that go through the circuits, through the antenna, and get transmitted into an alternate reality. And something or someone in that alternate reality will answer questions. You technically, I would call it a two-way conversation, because so far they are asking questions and they get answers. Now, they haven't gotten beyond yet the fact when they ask a question, it's a yes or a no answer. If the answer is yes, then there's a green light lighting up. If it's no, it's a red light. So they can ask questions in a yes or no anticipated answer, and they will get the answer. And the really amazing thing is that so far all the answers are correct.
So have they been asking about the future? I would think so.
Yeah, they are asking both about the past, the present, and the future.
Oh,
okay. Now, we don't know if it's accurate yet about the future.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, about the past and the present, the answers have been accurate.
Gosh.
So
how exciting.
This is, and it's even patented. So just go to the soulphonefoundation.org and read the material on there, and you can sign up for I think it's a monthly newsletter, and you can see the updates. Now, Dr. Schwartz, he said one place in an interview that he says within that's a year ago he said that. So within the 5 years, it says we are going to get to the point where we have two-way communications. Verbal communication is what he said with that other reality.
That's very exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah.
So now, is there so they just do this, the scientists are working with this technology in Arizona at the university, but I mean, are they getting funding for this? So this is part of an actual experimental technology situation where they're getting grant money to do this?
Yeah, they have grant money, and it is an experiment that the graduating students are the ones that is invited in on it to do the research.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that makes sense. Oh, how cool is that? So right now they're getting answers back in a light, in a red light, which means no, green light, that means yes. So they're not getting any kind of words yet. It's just through these two color lights.
So far it's just red light and green light, yes and no. That's all they have for right now.
Mm-hmm.
But in a way, they can actually communicate back and forth, so that it is kind of a two-way communication.
Well, it is. Yeah, just because they're using red and green lights, that's still communication. And the fact that they were able to verify the accuracy of those answers, the yes and no answers. That's tremendous. Wow. So we're coming a long way with that technology.
I know, and I'm looking forward to see what we can create out of this one. That would be really good.
Yes.
But also, hey, I'm not done yet. There's more.
Okay, keep going.
There is another way where you can use a Tesla coil, and that gets back to something I read while I was still back in Europe. That was back in the 1960s. There was a guy in southern France. He was taking pictures of dead folks all the time, just about all the time. He went to the graveyard. He took with himself a Tesla coil he built, and long extension cord, and he plugged the Tesla coil in, and he walked away about 20, kind of looked like 20 to 30 feet away from the picture that was with it. And he started taking pictures because he put the Tesla coil right next to a freshly dug grave.
Ooh.
Very often.
And what did he see? What kind of pictures did he get?
Well, very often he could see when he developed the pictures, he saw the picture of the guy laying in the ground, but now the guy was standing next to the grave and next to the Tesla coil.
Oh, my goodness.
Because that Tesla coil raises the vibration inside that bubble, that electromagnetic bubble created by the Tesla coil. And he was far enough away, being outside of the bubble, so he didn't interfere with the film. And that's how he took it. Yeah. Now, there's a tricky part to this, and that is that when he starts showing these pictures in his little village, they were all, deeply religious people, Christians. And they said, oh, no, we don't want any of this stuff. You're working with Satan. And they almost killed him, he said, so he had to move out of town.
Oh, my goodness, that's pretty severe. So he had to leave his home.
Yeah, he said in the interview after he moved that he says, if I had stayed, he said, they probably would have killed me.
God.
They totally
so
turned on him
that...
because they thought he was working with Satan.
Oh, man, it's so sad because here he is, actually had a breakthrough, a pretty big breakthrough to take photography like that. I mean, that's amazing. So instead of being celebrated for it, he gets threatened. What year is this? I thought it was 2022.
That was the article I read was back in the 1960s, probably I don't know, maybe late 60s, something like that. I was still back in Norway.
But even then, you would think people would have been a lot more tolerant. I mean, it's not back in the witch burning days, but maybe the mentality is for some people.
Yeah, but have you been to France? No. I don't think so. They were. It's kind of like the Bible Belt in the south of the United States.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't talk anything different than what they believe. And that's the concept. It's not just a Muslim concept. The religions, many religions have that. Like if you don't believe like I do, we need to kill you. There's a lot of people feel that way because they misinterpret what it talks about in the book.
Yeah, it's really too bad. I mean, we just saw that whole thing kind of go down with the vaccine. Same thing. If you're not getting vaccinated, then we're going to take all your rights away and isolate you and do this and that. Now, of course, all of this information is being released about what the vaccine's really done to people. And it's a very different story to be told. But, there's that mob mentality, whether it comes from religion or it comes from some fear-based political agenda. Either way, it's so dangerous. And we miss out on grasping the real truth here if you get caught up in that hysteria. So, wow. I'm glad your friend is safe. Gee.
There's a lot of ignorant people out there, but, hopefully some of them will grow out of it too. So, we never know. You
don't. No, you don't. But what a great thing he did with the Tesla Spirit radio, being able to take those photos, those Tesla coils, because it looked like there were two of them in the photo you sent me. Is that accurate? There are two coils that are used in this radio device?
And on the Tesla Spirit Radio?
Yeah.
There is actually two antennas on it, and you can hook that up to skirts so you can hear, and also plug a microphone into it so you could speak with them. And in fact, you can also run this through a computer by the time it comes from the spirit radio and through the computer and then to the speaker, so you can take out all the static, because usually a lot of static comes with it.
Yes, that's true. It does. Now, with the Tesla coils that this gentleman used in the graveyard, was it similar to the radio device, or is there something else he built?
No, the Tesla coil, that from the picture that I remember seeing, it was sitting on the ground, and it was just maybe a little bit taller than to his knees. So they could be probably at least 500,000 volts, maybe 1 million, or possibly more. That depends on how they wound it when they put the wires on it.
Mhm. Wow, so it's a pretty good size one.
You can buy them actually on the internet. Sure, I've seen some really big ones that is bigger and taller than you are. So
really,
they can do amazing things. But for anybody that has a Tesla coil, try it sometime. Go put it somewhere. If you know of a haunted house, have some fun with it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Another thing that you can do is get an infrared camera.
Okay.
Because that can pick up higher vibratory light and make sure it gets it to the film so you can see what's there. You walk into a haunted house with an infrared camera and you'll see stuff.
Yeah, that's helpful. So the people who are not able to do this psychically, or if they're not mediums or whatever, then you can actually get a lot of information from these infrared cameras. How expensive are they today?
Mm-hmm.
Are they very pricey?
Maybe a few $100s at the most. That's about it.
That's it. That's, again, it can be affordable. So, yeah. And these are digital, right? These are digital cameras? The infrared ones that you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah, the infrared camera is basically a regular camera with just a different lens on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a good thing to invest in.
And you probably know this also, that there is a tape recorder, an old tape recorder that used to be for sale back in the 1990s.
Oops, are you there? I may have lost you. Are you there, Aage? I heard some static, and then you were gone. Okay, and you're calling back in right here. All right. Let me get you back on the air. Now I can, for you disappeared for a minute, but I heard some static, and all of a sudden you were gone. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know how I did that.
Maybe your ghost friends were saying hello.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe somebody's listening.
They are.
Yeah, what I was saying is that there is a tape recorder that you can probably find. You may even have one in a drawer somewhere that you're not using anymore. It's a Panasonic IC recorder.
Okay.
It's what it's supposed to be called. And they have a very good reputation of being able to pick up spirit voice recordings.
No kidding. And so this is an older one. Huh.
Yeah, it's older.
It's dig around to find that one.
Yeah, and I got about 5 or 6 of them laying on tape recorders here, and I looked through, and I don't have one. But they were very popular, so you just, any one of the listeners out there, look through your drawers of old things, and who knows, maybe you find one.
Maybe you have
one.
Go
have some fun.
You have that gold, tape recorder. That's fabulous. Wow.
Yeah.
So for some reason they can pick it up. So that's good. So then you can get all of the voices that come through in any haunted location or any spirit that's supposed to talk, or interdimensional, as you mentioned. Yeah, because I agree with you, Aage, that when people talk about ghost hunting, I mean, I use the term loosely. I agree with you. It shouldn't be about hunting anything. It should be about communicating. It should be about some type of friendship that goes beyond this world, right?
Yeah, it's, I don't know about the word so much. It's what we do that is important. But I don't know if they understand that we are ghost hunting. Maybe they just, I don't know. I don't know what to think. But either way, there are ways of making contact.
Yes.
And another way to do it, and that also works. And I know because that I did. And you can use a radionic computer. I used to have a Mark 12 radionic computer made by the Copen Labs in England. They are the absolute best when it comes to radionics. And you plug it in. Let's say you have someone that you want to communicate with. And then you have, let's say, a watch that they had or a sock. I don't care what it is. Anything that has their biological energy attached to it. Put that in the well of the radionic computer. Tune it to that vibration and then transmit. The energy that holds that vibration, wherever it is in the universe, just might get the call.
Oh, my goodness. I have never heard of this.
Yeah. And we did some things with this, and then they will come to the location where the radionic computer is, and chances are you're sitting around there, just, all of you just watching what's happening. And then you can build yourself a receiving antenna. And that's what we did. We built it kind of like a pyramid, about 1 foot deep pyramid. And we put coat hangers in the corners of it, and then we wrapped aluminum foil around it so that it turned into a funnel. It was open at the apex, at the very top of the pyramid. And then we turned it upside down and put that top right on top of a tape recorder next to the microphone. Okay. Now, you can also leave messages for them. If they have been in physical form, they also know your language, and they, just because they're dead, they still know how to read. So leave them a message. Say, like, speak in the funnel or something. You can leave them any other message that you want to make them do. So you can use it like voicemail. Here's your message. Yeah, you kind of need, because they may not understand what you're doing. So you may have to have them speak in the funnel and then start the tape recorder and just let it run. Oh, my gosh. And then sit there and wait. But there is something else, too, on communicating out of the physical into the astral worlds. When you are in the astral world looking into the physical, it's here we are in the box looking out, but they're on the outside of the box looking in. So everything they see is like looking in a mirror. It's backwards. Oh, okay. And any astral traveler can tell you that if they're actually doing it. And that's why you want to write the message backwards. That makes it easier for them to understand. Okay. And use contrast, white paper and dark black big markers. Okay. Because looking from the astral world or any higher vibration into the physical, it may not depends on how well adjusted they are. They may not be able to see small writing.
So having it large is better, and then writing it backwards is better.
Yeah. We did that. We took this contraption with us out to a graveyard back in Omaha, and there were 3 of us that went out there, and we walked around with this thing, and hoping that something will be recorded, and then we stopped for a little bit and we ran the tape. And we had somebody on there talking to us, and one of the guys that was with us, he split immediately. He just took off.
Uh-oh. He got a little frightened. Oh, too bad.
Yeah.
Gosh. But with this radionic computer, I've never heard of a radionic computer. Heard of radionics, heard of computers, certainly, but a radionic computer. And you mentioned that you had one that was state-of-the-art. It was built in the UK. Can you get those today, a radionic computer?
Yeah, you can actually. It's a different computer. It doesn't have a screen on it, but it's a kind of like a box with crystalline technology and wiring inside of it. Kind of like it's somewhat similar to a quantum computer, except for the cooling effect in the quantum computer.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is looks like
you can go to if you Google Mark 12 radionic computer, you can go to copenlabs.uk, I think it is, and you can see there's kind of like a box, but it's got something like a whole bunch of dials on the front of it, and you can tune it, the frequency of whatever you put in the well of the computer. It's kind of like a round little well that you put there.
Yeah.
And this has been around since back in the early 1950s, and they're using it over in England for all kinds of things, for healing modalities. And let's say if somebody's got a really bad liver because he's been a lush, then you could say,
well, then you problem has created it. All right.
Yeah, and then you find actually you look up the frequency of a healthy liver. You tune it to that frequency, and you can help rebuild or accelerate the recovery of the liver.
That's great. So that almost sounds like a rice machine. Is it similar to a rice machine?
Yeah. Oh. They are using frequencies also. But of course, with them, it's an electromagnetic field. This is a higher vibratory field because it works interdimensionally.
Oh, my goodness. Now, how much are these contraptions? How much is a radionic computer?
I don't know anymore. I think when I got it 25 years ago, I think $1,500 or something like that for it. But, that was the top of the line, too. There are others. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had about, I think, 48 dials on it that fine-tune it very specifically.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. What a fun piece of equipment to have. That just sounds like a blast. And, I'm wondering if the prices have gone up or down. I mean, as they miniaturize things, it could go either way. So I'd be interested to look that one up. But it is not a rice machine. This is something different. Like you said, it's more finely attuned. It has a higher vibrational frequency. So it's definitely not a rice machine. So it does help people who are ill. People who are chronically ill can get better, I hope. I mean, I know we have to give a disclaimer. Yes, check with your doctor. But it sounds like the potential for recovery is good with this radionic computer.
Yeah, we used it we experimented with it because, really we weren't sick. But there was a friend of ours, he had a bad cold, and I think we knocked out that cold in 6 hours.
Oh, my goodness.
We
usually you have it these days for a week. Yep.
we were also able to make vitamin C water out of distilled water.
Oh, that's a good one. How do you do that?
Yeah. Well,
did you put it in the well?
After we put some vitamin C in the well and put a glass of water in the other well, and then we transferred the energy or the vibration of vitamin C from the vitamin C into the water. And we had it tested, actually. I took it and we had a laboratory test it because, we really weren't sure what we were doing, but we just wanted to see. And, and they told us that, well, why did you bring it here? It's just vitamin C water. So, yeah, it worked.
Yeah, it sure did. It sounds like you have a lot of contraptions in your office that you can really make use of. Good for you. That sounds great.
Yeah.
So are there any more that you want to tell us about, or is that the top of the line?
No, I think I combined the two last ones, a little bit of the radionics and not leaving messages. So you can perfectly well do that.
Yeah.
You can also leave messages around the house. If you don't have any equipment, leave messages to whoever. Let's say that you had someone that left you. Well, the other word is died, I suppose. And And if you feel like they're around the house and they haven't gone home yet, then just leave messages for them. Go to the light. This is not your home anymore. Go to the light. Or just leave them messages to help them just realize that, well, yeah, maybe I shouldn't hang around much more. I should go to the light and go home.
Wow. So just continue your communication, basically, with anybody that you sense is around. Well, let's move on then, because we've covered all these great technologies now. I've got to start looking these up. But let's talk about time, because you're an expert on this. So time is not what we think.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm an expert at anything. I'm just a digger, and I just keep doing stuff,
But time is a mystery.
Yeah, actually, it is a mystery for the ones who have not researched it. And the thing about it is that time travel is alive and well. It is very possible. In fact, in one of my books, Spiritual Science, Higher Conscious Thinking, and How to Access the Universal Consciousness, and I think it's the next to the last chapter, I explain how you can do it. But I have read in about 4 or 5 different scientific papers. They're saying, yes, we know how to make a time travel device. It's also paper and articles. You go to
Aage, 1 second. You're cutting out. So let's see what happens. You may have to hang up and call back in because you're cutting out and I can't hear what you're saying. So
oh boy.
Now I can hear you. Okay, so keep going.
Okay.
And you sound clear now. I was losing you before.
There is, in major publications, there are things about time travel, in scientific papers also. And BBC.com, July 11, 2018, they talk about we can build a time travel device. We know how to do it. We just do not have the fuel for it yet. Now, they're saying they don't have the fuel, but they totally exclude the energy of the mind. That's what can make it work. And here's another interesting thing. There is a guy named Ben Rich. He was the head of the Lockheed Skunk Works here in the United States.
Right.
And he said one time, and I'll read this quote because I want it to be right. And he said that, we know how to take E.T. home. And by the way, he said that in 1978. It's that we know how to take ET home, and it will not take a lifetime to do it. We already have the means to travel among the stars, but these technologies are locked up in black projects, and it would take an act of God to ever get them out to benefit humanity.
Oh.
Anything you can imagine, we know how to do.
Oh, boy. Well,
that was the head of the Skunk Works talking to you.
yeah, and isn't that a sad state of affairs? That the government, military, whomever they are, gets their hands on this stuff and knows it can benefit humanity. But we don't get to hear about it. We don't get to use it. It's really, it's terrible. It's upsetting.
Yeah, I know. It is bordering criminal.
I think it is criminal. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It is. Wow.
And the thing about it is that we have the fuel. Every one of us have the fuel to power this time travel device that is in our mind. You know, the thing is that let me take about a minute and a half and explain why this would work. And that is that there's a physicist. His name is James Gates. And he has studied the universe his whole life. And he says, he's a theoretical physicist, and he says when we go deep in the equations explaining the fabric of space, we find computer language. And we did not put it there. It is too organized and symmetrical in order to be just showing up by random. It was put there by an intelligence explaining the universe. So we are in a computer program.
So we're in a simulation.
Yeah, it's a computer simulation. And another thing is that I'm a hypnotist. And if I put you in a soft chair and talk to you for about 10 minutes and tell you that when I wake up and I snap my finger and I tell you that when you wake up you will see an elephant standing next to you in the room, I don't care if you are on the 37th floor of an apartment building, you will see that elephant if I did my job right.
Yes,
now
exactly.
you reach out and touch the snout on that elephant. You can feel the rough skin. You can hear him breathing. He is right there next to you. So now my question is to you, what happened to your real world?
Yeah. Where did it go?
Yeah. Our reality is created in our mind and projected around us. If we are able to take that as at face value and accept it, believe it, we can travel in time.
Well, that's great. That's terrific. Now, I know that
I have
when I
and
I have just a short story about this. Let me just share this one story, Aage, if I can, about, I know there was somebody that worked with Robert Monroe, who, as you know, wrote Journeys Out of the Body and developed binaural beats and ways of doing that. And he did come across somebody who was able to go back in time and change the events to the point where that this guy had a scar on his body that just disappeared. It was gone because he was able to go back and change the events so he didn't have the scar. Now, have you had experiences like that?
Well, would you like me to tell you how you can do it?
Yes, please do tell.
Well, the thing about it is, I think every one of us has done some really stupid things in the past. I sure got my hand up.
Yes.
And if we go into a meditative state and we decide that we want to create something in the past that does not include the stupid thing we did. We create different timelines for ourselves. We go back to, let's say, a time before that stupid thing, put ourselves in a place before that time, and in your mind decide that when that thing comes, I will not do that, I will do something different. And then decide on what different thing you will do. Now, if you do that over and over again, go back. You create attractor strings going back into the past, lodging in that location and that time and that new decision. You could very well find yourself in a new timeline where that thing never happened.
That would be great.
I know. Yeah. So this is one way of doing it. I have a small electronic device too that I've had some really strange experiences with. In 2003, BBC television came over to the United States to do a TV documentary on time travel. They interviewed Michio Kaku and Green and myself. On that video, I demonstrated that little electronic device, how it would work. And it turned very interesting because, BBC television, they showed it in every English-speaking country in the world, so about 1 billion people got to see it. And it explains that, yes, we can actually do this. If you go to broadcastteamalpha.com, you go into picture gallery, I think it is either page 15 or 17, I have photographic evidence of time travel and time slippage. So you can go there and just have fun to read those two pictures next to each other because they're taken at the same time, but they're different. So you'll understand when you see it.
Yeah, how exciting. Okay. I'm going to have to do that.
Yeah.
Everybody go do that. It sounds like a really interesting thing. But then let me ask you that. So you end up in another timeline because you've erased something out of your history. But what about going back? I mean, now you know that if you had invested in Apple or Microsoft or Home Depot back in the 90s, you'd have a ton of money today. Is it possible to do that?
You could. See, in the mind, everything is possible because, remember, that elephant was possible too. So everything is possible, but it all depends on a couple of things. First of all, your ability to believe with total conviction that this is possible. And then be able to lock into a different time where you bring your mind with you. And you can lay down those attractor strings that start pulling you into a different timeline because we get many timelines going parallel to each other and we may be in all of them, but they're slightly different. I don't know if you had this happen to you, but let's say you come home one day, you got your hands full of grocery bags. You put it on the island in the kitchen, and you put your keys next to it, and you start putting away. You put away the groceries, and now you're going to go get your keys, and they're not there anymore.
Yeah. Why?
A lot of people have small things like that happen. That could be because you have shifted a little bit in time. You're in a different timeline. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I did that one time. I put away the grocery stores and my keys were gone. And, I couldn't find them, so I had to use alternate keys for about a day or so. I found my keys in the freezer of the fridge.
What?
How in the world did they get in there? I didn't do that.
Yeah.
So something goofy things going on because we are phasing in and out of different timelines every so often.
Well,
just the same as you're driving a car. Yeah?
Yes.
Let's say you're driving a car and let's say you drive for about 2 hours to somewhere. You get in a zone and you don't feel like, well, it was pretty quick. I got here. And
yes,
you lost time in the middle. Maybe 2 hours is gone, but you don't remember most of that trip.
Right.
It disappeared. There are things on the road that you should have seen, but you didn't see.
You don't, yeah, and you don't remember seeing any of it. But what about this, Aage? What about how does this play into, I should ask it this way, the Mandela effect, where we have this conscious memory, this collective memory of certain things, yet when they, and you go back through, for example, watching Star Trek, Captain Kirk, we remember him saying, "Beam me up, Scotty," over and over again. But yet it's gone. It's not in there anymore. And we know it was there. Is this part of shifting timelines, or is this something being caused possibly by what they're doing at CERN?
I am totally convinced that is a time slippage between different timelines.
Mm-hmm.
I am totally convinced of that because you see it too often. Mandela is one of them. And my co-host over in Germany on another radio show that I was doing a while back, she took the bus to work every day. And there was one morning she went down to the bus station and the bus didn't show up. So she went and looked on the chart on the wall in the place where, she was waiting. And the bus wasn't supposed to come. And then she went home. So, no, she went to work, and they wondered, why did it take you so long to get here? And she said the bus didn't show up. So the next day she went back again, and the bus did show up. And she asked the bus driver, what happened yesterday? You didn't come. And he says, well, I don't know. I was here. But she didn't see him. So
our reality is a lot more malleable than we think it is.
Yeah.
It's not written in stone like we think. So how does that affect aging? Because I know you were talking about there was a paper written about this, that there is a way to reverse aging. Well, we all want to hear this one.
Oh, yeah, especially us that is a little more chronologically advanced. Yeah, well, the thing about it is that, we've been had. Because in 2003, 2009, 3 doctors got the Nobel Prize for discovering an enzyme that reverses the aging process, and nobody told us. Now, don't take my word for it. Go to the Nobel Committee's website, scroll down to 2009, scroll down again to medical submissions, and read the papers. You're going to love it.
Really?
Now, that
what
was
is this
2009. 2009, between 2009 to now, that is, 13 years. That's a lot of research, and a lot of stuff has happened, so it's been perfected quite a bit more. We have more data now on how to do this. And, of course, when the pharmaceutical company found out about this, they had to get in on the game, so they started creating a pharmaceutical to do this.
Right.
And there are 2 ways to do it. You can go the pharmaceutical way. That'll set you back right about $400 to $600 a month. Or you could do it the way I do it. And that is by doing it by herbal intake. There are herbs that will help the body to create its own enzyme. The name of that enzyme is, well, first of all, let me tell you, there are herbs that will help the body to create this enzyme. And first of all, what I'm taking is astragalus and Djaugelin herb. And this goes back to, I'll get to the name of it, but I want to wait a little bit because it'll help if you understand what happens.
Yes.
And that is, I found some very old people. In the mid-1950s, there was a university professor that came from China to New York as on an exchange program. He went out one night with colleagues and had dinner, got food poisoning, and died. So he ended up at the morgue. And they started going through his papers, and they said, gee, something's wrong here. So they called the Chinese ambassador and said, wait a minute, this guy is 154 years old. That can't be right. And the ambassador told them, yes, he is. And they asked him, how? And he said, first of all, he only eat Chinese herbs and berries. And he knew he could never die. That's a little different than going to McDonald's every, day or so.
No kidding.
And then I found another guy. He died from an accident at 256, and the government verified his age on 3 different occasions. He was also a martial art instructor for the Chinese army for as long as anybody could remember.
Wow.
So this herb that we want to develop in the body is called telomerase. When we take these herbs, then the body will create its own telomerase. And I have a book on the shelf here right above my desk where there's medical research that show that astragalus, taking in the large doses, would lengthen the telomeres at the end of the chromosomes inside every cell of your body. And those are the ones that determines your age. Science figured out what causes aging and death. It is the shortening of the telomeres at the end of the chromosomes inside your cells that every time the cell replicates itself, it gets the telomeres get shorter and shorter and shorter until they get so short they can no longer keep the end of the chromosome together, so it starts fraying, and the cell can no longer replicate itself, and you get stuck with old cells in the body, and you get older and older, get more wrinkled, more gray hair, and you eventually will die. In my book about spiritual science, I explain what I do, and I explain what people can do to reverse the aging process. I am doing it. About 5 years ago when I started, 6 years probably, I started looking a little ragged in the edges, gray hair and wrinkles and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't do that anymore. I don't feel like that anymore. I get more energy than anybody I know. I work 16 hours a day, and everything is fine.
And
so
do you
I know
use this one
works.
astragalus?
Yeah. If you want to look a little closer, I explained it in the book what we are doing. What a lot of people now are doing because they read the book. And I make myself totally available to everybody that buys the book and read about it. I am here to help them along as they go in their understanding of this and many other things that is written about in the spiritual things. So
that's wonderful.
This is very possible. Everybody can do this. Now, the astragalus that I buy, it's, hey, I'm cheap. So it sets me back about $15-20 a month, something like that.
So that's affordable. So
yeah,
that's good.
affordable.
So yeah, that's very affordable.
Now,
and there's also a peptide that extends your telomeres, and it's called epithalon. And you can buy that. It's a little more expensive, but yeah you can actually buy that. It's called epithalon, EPITHALON. And there are a number of places, labs that sell it. And there's one lab I like in particular in California that has top-of-the-line peptides, and they're for research purposes only. However, they have a lot of information. So if you go to peptidesciences.com, you can read about the peptides and the research that is being done and has been done on them. They have peptides that get rid of cancer. They have peptides that, like I said, extend your telomeres, but it's all there at peptidesciences.com. Very interesting research, so you might enjoy that also.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you can get away with $20 a month for these, but if you decide to to experiment, but at the same time, these are made in the United States. They're very pure, and you don't have to worry about contaminants with this company. So peptidesciences.com has a lot of really good information, on all different kinds of peptides and peptide combinations and the research that is out there.
Excellent.
Very interesting. Yeah, very interesting thing.
Yeah, look into
peptides.
this, folks, because the more we can do, the more we can learn about this, the better it gets. Now, I'm mentioning the astragalus, but also, there is this jiaogulan herb, which is called the immortality herb in China. So I take a lot of supplements. Well, I'll tell you, since you don't speak Chinese either, I'll spell it for us.
Please.
It is JIAUGULAN, N for November. Okay. That is the jiaogulan herb, and that is called the immortality herb in China. And I take that also, and that actually that cost me another $20 a month, I suppose. And I don't know what it does, but it when I'm looking at myself, I'm the rumor on the street is that I'm 76, and don't feel I look that.
No, from your photos, I can tell you don't. So that's tremendous. But I was watching a movie. What was it called? I think it was Night Sky with Sissy Spacek and some other great older actor. Now, Sissy Spacek is 72 now, and she plays the role of an elderly woman and with her husband who's elderly, and they're facing the challenges of getting older, getting infirm, not being able to walk as well, not being able to remember things. And it was, at first I was watching this, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so depressing. It was like to age, to be on the planet and to have so many issues, these chronic problems that come with aging. And then it kind of shifted into a much more sci-fi type of a storyline. But it was, it brings forward all of what, if we're lucky enough to get to be old, we face some of these issues. But as you're mentioning, it's so important, what we're eating. I mean, fruits and berries certainly make a difference, especially if you're not eating fast foods. It's a big difference. But the herbs make a big difference. The peptides can make a big difference. It's all of these things combined that take away the infirmity aspect. You're infirm, you can't walk, and your joints hurt, and it just becomes so intolerable. You can see why people don't even want to be here when they have levels of pain and discomfort like that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it gets interesting once you start diving into these things. And here's a hint for you. I think it was about 4 years ago, the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, they came up with a brand new. They launched a brand new disease called aging.
How nice! What is it? It's what?
Aging.
Oh, okay.
It's a disease now. So that tells you something. They think also that it could be remedied.
Mhm. Well, there's certainly
Unless
enough ancient cultures that agree with you.
you.
Yeah, right. It could be for that reason, so they can make some more pharmaceuticals for us. But yeah, I mean, is there anything natural about aging? Maybe it's not so natural. So,
well, the aging is actually caused short of the telomeres, but then again, what causes the shortening? That is the lack of telomerase in the bloodstream or in the body. So then, why do we get less and less telomerase created as we get older? So you got a vicious circle here, and that is caused by the drying up and the more inability of the pituitary to create this enzyme. So now we got, if we clean out the pituitary, if we decalcify it, that also will help a lot and make it easier for you to stay more healthy. Besides that, you get more psychic and you get more abilities and you can do all kinds of neat stuff.
Now, are you talking about the pituitary or the pineal?
Did I say? I think I meant no. I meant the pineal gland, because that's what creates most of the enzymes.
Okay. Yeah, because a lot of people have been exposed to a tremendous amount of fluoride in their drinking water and fluoride treatments at the dentist, and that calcifies the pineal gland. Yeah. So how do you decalcify it once you've been exposed to all of those fluoride toxins?
Well, there is really fairly simple, actually, to do that, and that is you take boron. Boron will get in there, and it will break up some of the parts of the molecule of the fluoride, because the fluoride molecule looks kind of like a clump with fingers sticking out, claws sticking out. And these fingers, they can come off, so the fluoride particle can be flushed out. Will eventually go out in the lymph system. So the brain actually can be cleaned out from the gunk, because inside of the pineal you have small wafers of crystalline wafers, and they vibrate at very high frequency. That is, some of them are transmitting out of the physical into a higher vibratory existence. That's our gate to the universal consciousness. If you have full of gunk in between those crystals, they cannot vibrate, and you lose your connection to that universal mind.
Well, this is a good solution. So, boron. Also, I've heard people actually use that stuff that you buy for your laundry called borax. It's the same thing, isn't it?
No. Borax, that's more like a cleaner that really shouldn't be used, because they have other stuff in it that is not good. But pure boron, you can buy it at a health food store, and that is the real thing that you don't have to take much of it. It's just whatever it says on the bottle, that's what you want to do. And you do that for a few weeks, and you just might feel some difference. And also start eating raw, natural foods. Green leafy food, red food, carrots, red peppers. and green leafy food. That is excellent to help. Also, the enzymes coming off with those, they can end up also helping clean it out.
Mhm. Yeah, well, that's great. So boron is something that comes in powder, capsule? Is that how people take it, or is it homeopathic?
No, it's I have it in a powder here.
Okay.
It's in a powder. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know.
Easy enough to take, and I think that's another inexpensive one, isn't it? I don't think that's very expensive.
Oh yeah, really cheap.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
In fact, there's some real good videos on YouTube about how to clean it out too. So you can find something there. Explain what other people have done.
Well, I've seen there's different tones you can play, but that only goes so far. I think it's a physical. It needs a physical cleaning out, like with boron. I think would be a great thing to try, and it's a safe supplement. So people can look into that as well, especially, again, if you guys are exposed to fluoride growing up, which most of us were, because they were big on putting fluoride in the water back then and making us drink that, thinking that it was going to help us so that we wouldn't have cavities anymore. But then we don't have the pineal gland anymore. So, so check into that boron.
Yeah, I've also heard that Aage with a redox molecule can also help clean it out.
And what is it? Spell that for me.
Aage, ASEA, with a redox molecule. It's a molecule that gets inside the nucleus of the cell and restructure the genetics of it.
Wow. Is that another bargain? Another cheap one?
I'm drinking it. I've been drinking it for probably 3 years now. I do it every day. Whether I need it or not, I don't know, but I just do it anyway, and I feel good. So as long as I feel good and have the energy that I have, and I'm backing up my aging like I do, I'm not going to change a thing. I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yeah. No, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
It's great, because it's great to be here on the planet, but it's also great to feel good while you're here on the planet. So, all of these other challenges that a lot of people face as they get older, it makes it so unpleasant. So if you can clear up a few things, you might end up clearing up a lot of things. So it's a much more enjoyable experience to be alive in your later years.
Yeah.
Rather than sitting in a nursing home, fading away.
I know. I'm thinking of older people, and I don't consider myself one of them. So, most people my age, they're anything from about 6 to 15 pharmaceuticals by now.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
I've never been sick in my life, so I'm just going to keep it that way.
Yeah. Good for you. Well, that's great.
Except for some well-deserved hangovers.
Yeah, right. Well, it's okay. That's all right. There's probably some herbs you can take for that too, right, Aage?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you one more question. Go back to the ghost technology then. With the Tesla coils or the Tesla spirit radio, how about, can you use that to communicate with ETs?
I think I'm pausing here because I'm thinking in possibilities, because I have not tried it, so I really don't know. But I think that when it comes to the radionic computer, you may be able to communicate probably better with ET. If you really want to see UFOs all the time, every day you go outside, you can see UFOs, and there's one way you can do that, and that is get your hands on a 4th generation night vision goggles.
Okay.
If you get those, because they pick up higher vibratory light than what your eyes can see. They see into the infrared spectrum, and when you point those goggles into the sky, you're going to see the traffic jam up there. There is round ones, there's triangular ships, they're all over the place out there. And in fact, over in the Middle East, one of those favorite wars that the Bushes created.
Yes.
They used to give out those 4th generation goggles to the people and the soldiers, and they got all kinds of complaints, but it scared the daylights out of them because they said, we're walking down the street and we see this man right in front of me coming up to me, and then he walked right through me. And, or
goodness.
they can say that he can see him and take the goggles off. He's not there anymore. So they took the goggles away from people and left them with the officers only. Same thing.
That's funny.
George Norrie did a whole show on this because he was at a function somewhere and somebody came up to him and said, hey, look at this. Use these goggles and look up. And George could see the ships flying in all different directions up there. And he was so totally flabbergasted. He did a whole show of it afterwards.
Oh, gosh. Well, that's great. So this is 4th generation infrared binoculars you're talking about now.
Yeah, the 4th generation night vision goggles, they are, they see in the, it doesn't work in the daytime so much because too much light, but in the infrared at night, you can see it.
Oh, my goodness. No, now I have a list of things I have to buy. You have got me going, Aage, on all these great toys. I can't be without them. And I'll report back to everybody.
Yeah, well, it was fun.
Yeah, so you have so much great information, lifetime of experience that you're sharing with us. And believe me, we all appreciate it, my audience, myself. This has been such a wonderful night to spend with you, to hear about all these technologies, how people are using them, and how we can get them or build them. So it's our choice, really. Well, again, I would have to say I only have one choice, and that's to buy them, because I am not one of these mechanical people. Forget it. I just can't do it. But I know there are people in our audience that have those skills, those engineering and electrical skills, and they can put it together probably pretty easily. So I'm jealous of all of you out there that can do it.
Let me say something to the listeners for about 15 seconds, and that is that start digging, start doing stuff. Because there's this saying, for the ones who have had the experience, no explanation is necessary. For the one that haven't had the experience, no explanation is possible. That just might be why you don't believe it all yet. Once you had that one experience, there's a whole world opening up to you. Go for it.
That is so true. So true, Aage. Thank you so much. This has been wonderful. Everybody, check out Broadcast Team Alpha. Got some great shows there, some photographs you have to look at that you'll really enjoy. And Aage, thank you. Got to have you back on the show, and my co-host can enjoy you as well.
Oh, yeah.
So next week, everybody will be back again with another great show. Until then, we'll see you on the Blue Highway. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Aage.
Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for another radio adventure with Supernatural.